Bitcoin is reversing some of the upside from yesterday. The positive for Bitcoin, it recaptured this trend line. Remember, it was unconfirmed, so that the factors tell you that the probability is it still can get above that line very easily, and it did that. That's exactly what the confirmation level alerts you to. It hasn't confirmed. Now, we are moving back below. If we close below today, watch for confirmation next week. Now, I say next week. Crypto trades 24/7 even on the weekend, so I guess there's a possibility it confirms on the weekend. I don't like confirmation that occurs on weekends for crypto because there's no volume behind it. I want to see confirmation with volume. That tells me big money is actually doing it versus just a couple small traders trading some leverage over the weekend.
Wait a minute, everyone. Welcome to Bitcoinzilla, your platform for daily cryptocurrency analysis and news. Our mission is to keep it simple. Bitcoinzilla offers engaging information that is easy to understand. Our analysts keep their eyes on the latest news to provide valuable insights via email. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Join our community of 10,000 subscribers and experience the new edge with Bitcoinzilla. Subscribe now. In this video, Gareth will share his insights on what caused Bitcoin's recent reversal from its upside. How did Bitcoin manage to recapture its trend line? What are these confirmation levels alerting us to? Can we expect a confirmation over the weekend? Why is volume so crucial for confirmation in crypto trading? Let's join Gareth in this interview about these topics and more.
Now, the non-farm payrolls report came in way hotter than expected. 303,000 jobs created. Expectations were for 200,000. Last month was 270. It was reported last month at 275. It was revised down 5,000. Now, again, 5,000 revisions not a big deal, right? If it was 100,000, that's a big deal. This is basically in alignment with last month. But this number, folks, the dollar ripped higher. We saw the yield ripping higher. Now, the market was rallying after yesterday's massive sell-off. It initially dipped and then kind of stabilized. In fact, we're still net positive. What does this tell us about that big sell-off yesterday, guys? Check this out. It tells us that when we were dumping out, and again, I even talked about this in Trading the Close yesterday, it meant that people knew. There were some players that knew this job number was going to be hot, and they were dumping like crazy yesterday afternoon, and that's why the markets just dumped out insanely. Okay, so let's talk unemployment rate. Unemployment rate comes in at 3.8%. Expectations were 3.9. Last month was 3.9%. So again, a better number here, lower unemployment, right? Less people unemployed. So everything here turning up roses. And again, what does this mean? It means that the markets are expecting less rate cuts from the Fed. It's getting to the point, folks, I don't know if we're even going to get one rate cut this year unless all of a sudden we see a major downturn in the stock market. Futures, again, were positive going into these numbers, initially dumped out. And again, we did see a rebound a little bit back up, and we'll keep an eye on the markets. Participation rate I have in here, it's 62.7% versus 62.6%. That's how many people are participating in the workforce. It did go up a little bit, some speculation that some retirees are starting to work from home, and that's why you're seeing that uptick in the participation rate. The dollar ripped higher, and the number here trading now 104.52. We'll look at that chart. 10-year yield back to 4.4%. And again, surprisingly, we're not seeing a big sell-off in the stock market, okay? Now, what are we going to do here? We're going to go back to the homepage. I want to show you guys the other key things that I look at on a daily basis. So as we scroll down here, again, you can see, by the way, you can see the economic calendar that we have on the website here. This is the earnings calendar. This gets updated every weekend for the next week, so that'll be on there. And this is just a scrolling of all of the economic things that you might want to see. Now, if we look down here, we can click on the non-farm payrolls data. This hasn't been updated with the new number yet, just with the last month. But you can see that generally we've been trending down. But now we're seeing a number that basically comes back in at around 300,000. So we're right up in this vicinity right up here. So again, are we starting to reaccelerate? I personally don't think so. But nonetheless, it is interesting to note. Okay, now next up, we have to just take note that the jobs were created, the sectors that had the most jobs, over 60% of all the jobs were in hospitality, education, and government, basically. So again, you have to wonder, is hospitality, is that people picking up part-time jobs? That might be, right? Picking up a waiter, waitress job, picking up something like that. And again, does that tell us some underlying factors about the economy? We'll go into those details in just a minute. All right, back to the homepage here. Scrolling down, by the way, I have the unemployment rate, the importance of U6. We'll talk about that another time as well. But as we scroll down, the one thing, and by the way, look at the crypto heat map today. That's not a pretty heat map for cryptocurrency. This is yesterday's stock market. It will update today once the stock market opens. Below here, this is really what we want to focus on. We have the fear and greed numbers. Right now, we're now back to a neutral rating on the fear and greed for the stock market, and we're still a little bit on the overbought side in the greed zone for the crypto market fear and greed index. Now, the big thing here is the Fed tool, right? So let's click on this right here. This is the Fed Watch tool. What are the numbers telling us? We've seen that this June number right here, and I'm sorry, it's a little blurry on the screen here. I don't know what's going on there. I'm sure it'll refocus at some point. But basically what we're seeing is it's now down to only a 50-50 chance of fear or of essentially the Fed cutting in June. So we're getting to that point right there, and we'll have to keep an eye on that.
BlackRock, the leading asset manager globally, has increased the number of authorized participants for its Bitcoin ETF, the iShares Bitcoin Trust, IBIT, to 9. The new additions include major financial firms like JPMorgan Securities, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, UBS Securities, and Citadel Securities. As we approach Bitcoin's much-anticipated halving event, the blockchain is set for another difficulty adjustment, expected around April 11, 2024. Analysts predict a slight increase in difficulty, between 1.2% and 2.16%, paving the way for the upcoming halving. Bitcoin Whale activates dormant $115 million wallet as Bitcoin halving looms. In anticipation of the Bitcoin halving, a Bitcoin Whale resurfaces after a decade, stirring speculation with a $115.42 million wallet activation and a mysterious transfer of $16.73 million worth of BTC. Dormant Bitcoin Whale activates wallet containing $115.42 million worth of BTC, sparking community intrigue. Whale accumulation trend emerges ahead of fourth Bitcoin halving, signaling confidence amidst market volatility. Market sentiment shifts as traders respond to Silk Road BTC sales and profit-taking behavior among long-term holders.
Gold initially was selling off. Today, now it's moving back higher. Notice the dollar is ripping and gold is actually going up. This is because people are scared. People are buying the safety of gold. This is an incredible chart on gold. Don't forget, my target range is still up here. If I flip over to my weekly chart, actually, I think we have to go to the monthly here real quick. We go to the monthly chart and zoom out. You guys know where that target is by looking at this trend line. All right, so trend line 2320, 2330 on that front. If we flip over to silver, silver's pulling back just a little bit. That's to be expected. Remember, it confirmed. So what do we know? Well, where would be like for me, I play a disciplined trader, right? So the idea is that I won't be a buyer up here. It's too extended. But if it comes back to this line right here, that's a confirmed breakout. That should be your area of support. So I'll be interested. I don't know if I'll buy it, but I will be interested at that level on silver.
The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe has introduced a foreign exchange and gold-backed structured currency to replace the struggling local currency. The structured currency banknotes will be fully convertible into the reserve currency on demand. The central bank has also reduced the annual interest rate from 130% to 20%. A Nigerian court has postponed the tax evasion case of the detained Binance executive to April 19, while the hearing for the cryptocurrency exchange itself is scheduled for April 8. The court also ordered that the executive Tigran Gambaryan be held in the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. In a report informed by individuals close to the situation, the FTX estate has successfully liquidated $1.9 billion by offloading a considerable amount of Solana, including tokens that were not immediately available due to a vesting schedule. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.